Hi there, beautiful yogis. The country's on lockdown, but it's a beautiful sunny day and we still need to do our yoga practice. So let's just come to a comfortable seated position. Let the spine come up nice and tall and just spend a few moments with the breath. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. And just see if you can allow that breath to be nice and slow and steady. We're not forcing it so much as just allowing that to be the case. And then we can begin to switch on the Ujjayi breath by narrowing the passageway of air at the throat. Breath takes on a little whispering sound. So let's make our way up to a standing position then. Ready to move through our sun salutations as always, 5 Surya Namaskar A and 5 B. So with the inhale, let's raise the hands, stretch them up high, and then exhale, bow forwards. Inhale, come halfway up with a long flat back, and then exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Elbows in, hold the weight off the mat if you can. Then inhale, scooping forwards for an upward facing dog with nice low shoulders, and exhale to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. And do make any little adjustments you need to make. We often land a little long in downward facing dog, so stepping forwards. And if you can find this movement in your body, roll those shoulders out and the creases of the elbows in, so that you're activating right up into the shoulder girdle. If that makes no sense to you and you can't find that movement in your body, no worries at all. It's a little bit of a subtle kind of refinement to downward facing dog, which just gives us a little bit more work and strength up in the shoulders. We're pulling the tummy in as well. And then with your next inhale, bring those feet up to the hands, lengthen out the spine, and exhale, fall forwards. With an inhale, come up, stretch up high, and exhale, come back to standing. Brilliant. All right, next one. Inhale, raise the hands, maybe a little back bend, and then exhale, bow forwards, hamstring stretch. Inhale, halfway up, long flat back, and exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Elbows in, slowly lower, nice and strong. Inhale, upward facing dog, toes point back. Lift yourself out away from the shoulders and exhale, downward facing dog. And looking at the hands, we see the fingers spread wide, middle fingers pointing forwards, chest sinking down in between those shoulders. And if you can find that rotation, that spiraling through the arms, go right ahead. Keep those shoulders back away from the ears. Uddiyana Bandha, drawing the belly button back towards the spine. Good. With your next inhale, then step, or you might want to jump to bring those feet to the hands. Lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, come up, stretching up high, and exhale to standing. Good. Next one. Inhale, raise the hands, reach. Exhale, bow forwards. Inhale, halfway up, long flat back, and exhale, step, or you might jump to your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Option to raise the right leg up. So you can spread the toes of that lifted leg. Good job. With your next inhale, bring the feet to the hands, come halfway up, lengthen out that spine. And exhale, fold forwards. With an inhale, come all the way up, stretch up high. We can keep the hands in that nice finger spread position. And exhale, come back to standing. Good. Inhale, raise the hands, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, long flat back. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. With the option of raising the left leg. Toes spread. Try not to let that left hip roll up and open. We're just keeping those hips pointing down at the mat for now. Strong through the arms, active through the shoulders, but the shoulders are away from the ears. Good job. With the next inhale, feet to hands, halfway up, long back. And exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, come up, reach up, stretch up high. And exhale to standing. All right, last one on your own then, in time with your own breathing. Good job. All right, so let's move right along to Surya Namaskar B. 3 times as many push-ups. So building strength here and warming up, ready for our stretches and longer held poses. So we're bending the knees. Inhale, sweep those fingertips towards the mat, come to chair pose, and then exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, come halfway up with a long flat back, and then exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Then as you inhale, step the right foot forward, drop the left heel, reaching up as you lunge down. And exhale, coming back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale, left foot forward, right foot flat. Warrior. Really bending low through that left knee. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana again, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Fingers spread wide. Engage through the shoulders. Tummy pulls in. Good, then with your next inhale, bring your feet to the hands and come halfway up with that nice long back. And exhale, fold over that space for a hamstring stretch. Then bend the knees, inhale, lift up the hands, and exhale, straighten. Good, next one, inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, long back. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, left foot flat. Warrior. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right foot flat. Warrior. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Inhale, feet to hands, halfway up, long back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, lift the hands. And exhale, straighten. Brilliant. Third one then. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway up, long back. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot, warrior. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right foot flat, warrior. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And the option to raise this right leg, bend the knee, drop the foot over, and allow that right hip to roll up. Stretching and lengthening the waist. Brilliant. Then inhale, feet to hands, halfway up, long back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, lift the hands. And exhale, straighten up. Good. Fourth one. Moving with your breath. An option to raise this left leg. Brilliant. Last one then. Okay, everyone, brilliant, good job. So let's come to our standing forward bends next. So we'll just start with the feet at hip width and just feeling that the body is all nice and tall and stepped up. We've got this long waist and the tummy pulled in, and we can start with a stretch up of the hands and then slowly come forward, pelvis turning over, hip bones fold down towards the thighs, And we're just looking for that hamstring stretch that feels good to us. So wherever you get to is fine. Let the back of the neck be nice and long as well. Good stuff. So with the next inhale, let's just roll ourselves up to standing. So we're going to take another couple of standing forward bends, and you can either repeat that one that we just did, spending a lot of time in a standing forward bend, getting those hamstrings nice and long is a great thing to do. But if you've been practicing Bird of Paradise with me in the classes over the last few weeks, then you're welcome to give that a try right now. So you'll remember that this is a bind, and then we kind of take it to the next level by trying to bring that bind into a standing position. So you might want a slightly wider stance in the feet to start, and then we come to our forward fold and send the left arm through the gap. Now we need to rotate that shoulder in its socket such that when we bend that left arm, the fingertips come up behind the back of the left waist. And then to find the bind, you would reach that right hand around and see if you can hook the fingers together. And this is a fine place to stay. But if you're feeling brave, then you might want to begin to shift the weight onto the right foot and see about coming to a standing position. So we need to move nice and slowly in our balances. If you want to make this pose look pretty, you can have a go at straightening the leg. So if you've had a go on that, just give it a try on the other side. I'm really rubbish at doing this on the other side, so I probably will fall over, but who cares? So we're going to come to the forward fold, send the right arm through, rotate the shoulder over, bend the elbow and clasp the hands. Maybe staying here in the forward fold with the bind, or bringing the weight onto the left foot and seeing if you can slowly begin to bring yourself up to that standing position, and then perhaps extending the leg. Okay, good job. So let's just come back to that regular standing forward bend and just shake out anything that needs shaking. Don't worry if you didn't do that balance. It's a fairly advanced pose, but it's a little bit of fun. So let's roll ourselves up to standing again, and we'll bring the weight onto the right foot for an external rotation at the hip. So standing balance with external rotation. So that might be tree pose. You can have the toes on the floor, the foot against the arch of the foot against the calf muscle, or the foot to the thigh. So those are the tree pose options. Or if you're going half lotus, then you're bringing that heel across to the hip of that standing leg, and then just gently holding the foot and seeing if that knee can fall down. So your foot might stay there. Mine doesn't really like to. You can bring the hands together or raise them up. Or if you want to come into the forward fold with this half lotus, you're trying to lift the rib cage up high so that as you fold forwards, you can kind of swallow that foot into the space between the hip bone and the bottom rib. And if the toes are sticking out, you might be able to reach that left hand around behind you and take a hold of the big toe. So loads and loads of options. They're all achieving pretty much the same thing, so take your pick. So when you're ready, just begin to make your way up and out. All right, good stuff. So bring the weight onto the left foot, then we'll find that external rotation and just choosing whether it's tree or half lotus you're going for. So in tree pose, just think about that knee turning out to the side. If you're pressing the hands together, you can lift those elbows and press working more into the arms and the shoulders, or you could raise these hands up high. Good work. Let's just make our way down and then shake anything that needs a little shake. So let's come to our wide leg standing forward bend. So we're just going to step out nice and wide, and with the inhale raise those hands up, and then exhale turn the pelvis over, fold down. You can walk the hands out as far forward as you need, or you could climb up onto a block. Or if you've been practicing a little while, you might bring those hands in line with the feet, press the hands into the floor, squeeze the elbows in towards one another, and work up into the shoulders. Now, if you've been practicing a while, you might even be able to bring the head to the floor, in which case you could even press those hands into the ground and have a go at floating the feet up high. All right, good stuff. Let's inhale, raise the hands up, and exhale, bring them down onto the hips. Inhale, we're lifting the chest, and exhale, keep this long waist with the tummy pulled in as you fold forwards. So poking those fingers into the tummy, you might be able to feel the muscles nice and strong there, flat sheet of muscle. And then we'll inhale, draw ourselves up, stretch the hands up high, and exhale, bring them down behind us, interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift the chest, squeeze those shoulder blades in towards one another, and exhale, fold forwards. Keep the hands holding where they are as you inhale, draw yourself up, stretch them high, and then exhale, bring them down onto the fronts of the thighs. Inhale, lift up the chest, and exhale, fold forwards. Hands slide down. Resist a little bit with the upper body as you pull with those hands. Good stuff. Then let's inhale, draw ourselves up, stretch up high, and then exhale, hop back to the front of the mat and shake anything that needs a little shake. So we'll just give our wrists a little massage by putting the backs of the hands together and lifting them up, and then flipping them over and drawing them down so the elbows come above the height of the wrists. So just bending the wrists in opposite directions really. And then when they feel a little bit warmed up, we can bring the hands behind us and look for a reverse namaste. Now, if that's not available, you could point the fingers down, or you could hold on to the forearm. So we're just going to step the right foot forward and the left foot back. And then we're going to level the hips by steering forwards a little bit with that left hip. All right, so with your next inhale, just lift the chest, lengthen the front body, lengthen the spine, and then fold forwards. So you're just going as far down until a point where you feel a hamstring stretch that you like. Let the back of the neck be nice and long. And then you can let those hands come apart, come down either to the shin or to the floor. And then we'll shift the weight onto that right foot and just allow the left leg to float up high as you fold down over that standing leg. So standing split. back up to a standing position. Find our reverse namaste again. And this time we'll have the left foot step forward and the right foot step back. Hips line up. Inhale, lift the chest and lift the chin. And exhale, fold forwards. So again, we're just looking for that hamstring stretch in the back of the leg. Try and hold the spine out straight. We don't want to collapse into this kind of shape. Letting the hands come apart and down onto the floor, or to a block if you have one, or to the shin. And then we could have a go at shifting forwards and finding that standing split. And from here, let's just lower that foot and step back into downward facing dog. And we'll just take a little twist here. So making sure you haven't got a really long stance because you won't be able to reach. So just bring the feet a little bit further forward perhaps. We're going to send the left hand to the outside of the right ankle. Press very firmly with this right hand into the mat. Lengthen the body and twist. So you're looking out under the right arm. Good, let's change that over. So really plant the left hand carefully into the mat. Reach the right hand to the left ankle and twist. So you're facing out underneath that left arm. Brilliant, all right, good stuff. So let's just come down to child's pose for a moment. You might want to give the backs of the wrists a little stretch. And it's time for our plank challenge. So it's our final week on 5 breaths in each one. So then we're going to move on to 6 breaths in my next video. So let's just get ready for our side plank. So we just need to remember that we're holding the body out in a straight line. The hand wants to be underneath the shoulder, legs nice and straight, and the feet flexed so that you have the outer edge of the foot on the floor, which makes it easier to balance than if your feet are kind of pointing out. So we're looking for this shape. If that's not available to you yet, you can make it easier by stepping this top foot over, or if your wrists are not happy with taking that much weight, then you could be on the elbow. So counting 5 breaths for that side plank, and then 5 breaths for the two-handed regular plank. Again, could be on straight arms, could be on elbows, holding the body out nice and strong and straight. And if you're a little more advanced, then pushing into the mat and seeing if you can work up into the shoulders rather than just kind of collapsing down a little bit. And then you'll be 5 breaths on the other side as well. So I'm going to do it with you, but no cheating, 5 slow breaths. done, we can make our way back into child's pose for a moment. Good stuff. So just making your way up to a kneeling position, we're just going to come to cobbler's pose or Baddha Konasana, which is an external rotation of both hips in their sockets. So knees falling out to the side, but if you have a half lotus, then you can bring this right foot in and lift the left foot up. So again, the heel comes close to the hip bone, and we're just letting those knees fall out to the side. So whether you're in cobbler's pose or a half lotus, you're welcome to add a forward lean as well. So see whether that feels like a nice thing to do. If it doesn't, no worries, stay sitting up. So if you're in Baddha Konasana, just stay where you are. If you took the half lotus, we're just going to swap the feet around. So the left foot comes down and the right foot is coming up, heel to the hip bone. And then if you want to good stuff. And then we'll just walk our way in and we'll just bring the feet flat to the floor with the knees bent up and give those knees a little wiggle, massaging the hips in their sockets. And then we'll come to Navasana, our boat pose, abdominals. So just sitting up nice and tall, hands on the fronts of the shins. We're just leaning back and finding the balance. And then opening the posture until you feel those abdominal muscles start to work. So that might be straight legs, that might be arms up overhead. You might not need to go that far to feel the tummy muscles working. So just see, hold this for a little while. And then we can just pop those feet down and take a little rest. And then second one. And release. Good stuff. So I'm going to give you an option for this next one. You could come into a regular seated forward bend with the legs out straight, walking onto the front parts of the sitting bones and just finding a stretch through the hamstrings. Or if you're feeling adventurous, you can do this balancing up on the sitting bones. So just as we were in our boat pose, but you could start to bring the hands behind the shins and hug those legs into the chest whilst trying to find your balance and look up to the toes. So whichever one of these you fancy, 5 slow, steady breaths. And then gently release. Put the feet down and we'll just slowly lower ourselves down to the mat. For a little back bend, so with the feet flat on the floor, we're just lifting the hips high. And you might want to begin to tuck the shoulders underneath you, hands underneath the back of the ribs. and just gently releasing, giving the knees a hug. And then we're going to do a second one of those. You might repeat, or if you have a wheel as part of your practice, then you could start with the hands in between the ears and the shoulders, fingertips pointing at the tops of the shoulders, and pressing firmly with the feet and equally firmly with the hands. We're lifting ourselves onto the top of the head, or perhaps all the way up for the full wheel pose. And gently releasing, and we'll hug the knees into the chest. Setting the head down on the floor, we'll just float those legs into the air for a gentle inversion. You might bring those arms overhead, or if you want to roll yourself up into a shoulder stand, go right ahead. Lifting the hips away from the floor, walking the hands down either side of the spine in the direction of the shoulder blades, and tucking the shoulders underneath you. So we're trying to get a vertical line through the chest, the tummy and the thighs. Quite hard to do. It's not one of the postures that I'm especially brilliant at. So we're always trying to get these elbows in quite close towards one another, and the sensation of sort of lifting up this rib cage. From here we have the option of stepping the feet down overhead for plow pose, resting the hands. From here, deaf man's pose is an option, bending the knees around the ears. And then we can just very gently begin to make our way down to the mat for Shavasana. So perhaps lying with your knees bent and the feet flat on the floor, or you might wriggle out and lie completely flat on your back. And just let your attention come to the breath. Notice the weight of the body resting on the ground. Anytime the mind wanders, just bringing it back to this sensation of the breath and the sensation of the body resting on the ground. So by doing this, we're just noticing what's happening right now, in this time and in this space. And the mind might try to tempt you with thoughts or worries or catastrophic kind of ideas. But just coming back to this feeling that right here, right now, Everything is okay. So as many times as you wander off into thinking, just bring your attention back to the breath and the body. And that's the work that we're doing in Shavasana. And then very gently beginning to bring a little bit of movement into the body. You might wiggle the fingers and the toes, turn at the wrists and the ankles, bending at the elbows and the knees, wiggling through the hips along the length of the spine, the shoulders, the head and the neck. And then in your own time, in your own way, just coming back to a seated position. Inhale, raising the hands for one last stretch up. And an exhale, bring them down into the centre of the chest. Just taking a moment to bring to mind to something or someone that you're genuinely grateful to have in your life today. And then bowing forwards to close your practice. Thanks for joining me, lovely yogis. I'm going to be making one of these videos a week throughout the time that we can't all get together and practice in person. But let's hope the sun keeps shining, and hopefully I'll see you again in my little garden for our next practice. Namaste.